You ever have one of those moments where you just know the universe is setting you up for a story nobody's gonna believe? Yeah, that was me. Sitting on my balcony, looking out at the water, thinking I'd finally found my slice of paradise. And then, well, let's just say paradise started getting a little noisy. So, picture this. I'm living in a place most folks only ever dream about. A small, tight-knit marina community draped in palm trees, yachts bobbing in the breeze, the air heavy with salt and sun. I'd busted my butt in tech, sold my company, bought this modern 4-story condo right on the water. Penthouse for me, rest for rent. Easy, steady income, the kind of life where you can actually breathe. And then there's my real baby, a classic 75-foot yacht. The Serenity, polished teak and brass. Not one of those in-your-face monstrosities, just class. She's my escape, my peace, my don't call me. I'm out at sea. I run a little charter business on the side, nothing flashy. Captain Sam. Old school, crusty as driftwood but sharp as ever. Handles everything. I'm the silent partner, the guy who shows up on weekends, soaks in the sun, and sometimes takes friends out for sunset cruises. Life was smooth as glass, until the ripples started. One morning, coffee in hand, I'm out on my balcony, feeling pretty content, when I spot this woman, blonde, older, wearing gear so clean you know it's never seen a treadmill. She's on the dock, phone glued to her ear, pointing up at my building like she's about to launch a coup. Next thing I know, I'm down on the boat, elbows deep in chrome polish, dressed like a bum, faded shirt, no shoes, just living my best life. When she stomps down the dock, her shoes making enough racket to scare the fish. She stops, hands on hips, looks at me like I'm something she just stepped in, and says, "Get this. They're letting the hired help lounge around on the merchandise now? This isn't a third-world fishing village. We have standards." Then, as if she hadn't made her point, she throws in something about professionalism and you people. I'm not sure if it was the racism, the arrogance, or just the sheer gall that stunned me more. But let's just say I didn't get a chance to respond before she strutted off, satisfied she'd put the world in its place. Turns out, she's the president of the HOA, the Commodore of crazy, if you ask Captain Sam. And she thinks I'm the deckhand. I mean, really? I could have gotten mad, but honestly, the whole thing was so ridiculous, it almost felt like a cosmic setup. Like, all right, universe, let's see where you're going with this. About a week later, Sam calls, and this guy, he survived pirates, literal pirates. Sounds like he's about to lose it. We got a big charter, he says. The HOA wants the Serenity for their celebration. And the lady? She's a tyrant. For pages of demands, weirdest menu you ever saw. Keeps calling about uniforms. Doesn't want any off-duty crew on the boat. Says she had a bad run-in with some lazy deckhand. I nearly choked. She was talking about me, trying to get me fired from a job I didn't even have. First instinct. Cancel the booking, tell her she can take her 5-figure party somewhere else. But then I thought, nah, let's let this play out. Sometimes, karma just needs a little nudge, you know? I told Sam, give her everything she wants. Spare no expense. He thought I'd lost it, but he went along. Meanwhile, the Commodore opens a new front, starts sending me violation notices about my flower pots, of all things. Not neutral colored, apparently, so I'm racking up fines. And it gets better. The reason she can even do that is buried in the master deed, something my lawyers had waved off as a formality. Joke's on me, huh? So I'm dealing with her trying to control my balcony, while she's secretly paying me thousands to host her party. The irony's so thick you could cut it with a boat propeller. But that's not even the best part. Turns out, she's also my tenant. Maria, my property manager, calls me about this nightmare tenant in 3B, refusing repairs, threatening lawsuits, and, yep, you guessed it, it's the Commodore herself. She's trying to sue the faceless corporation that owns the building, not realizing I'm both her landlord and the so-called lazy deckhand. I mean, how does that even happen in real life? She's fighting a war on two fronts, not realizing she's up against the same person both times. Party day rolls around, sun's setting, dock is buzzing, the HOA is out in full force. Commodore's holding court, dressed like she's auditioning for a cruise ship commercial. When she sees me, her face sours like she just bit into a lemon. She tries to have me thrown out. He's a renter. Security. But a couple of neighbors speak up for me. Even the HOA lawyer pipes in. Actually, The owner of that building has every right to be here. She loses it, but the tide's turning. People are seeing her for what she is. So now, I've got my revenge perfectly lined up. I'm not just the owner of the yacht she's about to party on, I'm her landlord, too. But that's just the opening act. She spends the whole week leading up to the party making Sam's life hell, demands the yacht be renamed for her event, picks a menu straight from the 80s, wants gold lame everywhere, life-size cardboard cutouts of herself. The woman is a walking cliché. She even tries to get us to let her christen the boat with champagne. Sam almost busts a gut laughing, but we agree, hang a vinyl banner with her chosen name, charge her extra. Every demand, we tack on more fees. Meanwhile, she's still refusing access for repairs in her apartment, sending her lawyer after us. So I set up a mandatory inspection the same evening as her big yacht party. The stage is set. The party itself? A monument to tackiness. Cheesy DJ, cardboard cutouts, enough pigs in a blanket to feed a minor league baseball team. At the height of the festivities, she's basking in the glow, about to board her boat. I show up, not as the penthouse resident, not as her landlord, but in a crisp captain's uniform. I wait at the gangway, Sam at my side. She storms over, livid. I told your captain you weren't to work this event, she hisses. Sorry, ma'am. I say loud enough for everyone to hear. But there seems to be a misunderstanding. My name's Michael. I'm the owner of this vessel. Welcome aboard the Serenity. Silence. You could hear the ocean. She turns purple, sputtering. You can't be the owner. This is a trick. But Sam backs me up, and then Maria, my property manager, arrives, clipboard in hand, looking every bit the professional. Ma'am, she says, I'm here for the mandatory inspection of your apartment, Unit 3B, as per our legal notice. The owner is here to conduct it personally. The crowd's catching on. The HOA president, the party thrower, is about to be outed as both nightmare tenant and bully. Her world collapses in slow motion. She tries to keep up the act, but there's nowhere to run. The party fizzles. People start clapping. For me, for the karma, for the spectacle. She flees into the night, her empire of cardboard and gold lame left behind. The next morning, I'm flooded with messages, some gloating, some apologetic, all acknowledging the new world order. The board is voted out, bylaws rewritten, the petty planter rules gone for good. My balcony flowers finally get to live their best life. You'd think that'd be the end, but nope. Turns out the Commodore had one last trick up her sleeve, a sabotaged water line in her old apartment. The damage spreads to her best friend's unit below, a bitter loyalist who blames me for everything. Another round of legal threats, more headaches. During repairs, we find a metal box hidden in the wall. Old letters, love notes, photos, the whole sad backstory of a woman broken by loss, hardened by grief. I could have gone scorched earth, used the sabotage to sue them both into oblivion. But what's the point? Instead, I called the friend to the building library, handed her the box, and just laid it all out. She saw the truth. Her friend had sabotaged her own apartment, hurt everyone, herself most of all. The legal war ended. The Countess mellowed. She even smiled at me one afternoon from her balcony, small, sad, but real. I gave the renovated apartment to Tony, my contractor, and his family. A good guy, finally some laughter in those halls again. The Commodore's son reached out after she passed, just a quiet, thank you for bringing peace at the end. Looking back, the real victory wasn't in seeing a bully humiliated. It was in the healing that came after. The new board, the laughter of kids, the band playing jazz on my boat, the neighbors actually acting like neighbors. That's what serenity means. Not power, not rules, just peace. The kind you fight for, the kind you build together. So let me ask you, if you had the chance, would you stand up to the bully? Or would you let them run the show? And have you ever seen karma serve colder? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about justice, community, and what it really means to take your power back. If you stuck with me this far, let me know where you're watching from. And hey, if you've got your own HOA horror story, I want to hear it.